the official NRL Fantasy Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the NRL Official Fantasy Podcast. Luke Seifleet, Andrew Molinaroli, joins me, Paulie G.
Bit more energy, Paul.
Good week.
It is.
Fire up.
Good week.
Yeah, it was all right. Pretty good. It's all right.
Yes.
Andrew's
okay.
got a couple of receipts, I think, though.
That's why I got the computer today.
Oh, he's fired up.
I got some names that I need to.
Yeah.
Go on.
No.
I want to hear it.
No, we'll get to when we get to the games.
It's
We will.
fine.
He's gonna.
This is it. This is the recap.
Yeah, but when he goes to the games, he just a certain player that plays for Gold Coast.
This is the recap. The best player this week is
the best player this round was
David Fifita.
David Fifita.
Yep.
Yep.
You own him.
What was? Yeah, I owned him. I bought him.
And
2 weeks ago.
your
I got-
hot trade suggestion last week on the show
Was to get David
to get
Fifita.
him.
And I copped a fair bit of heat for it.
And a lot of
Fair
people,
bit of heat.
A lot of people decided that wasn't a good idea.
Well,
They got some egg on there.
They're wrong. They're wrong. I'm always right. Always.
Very good.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And Luke, you nearly hit the 1,000.
Yeah, I would have if I looped Purdue, unfortunately. But I got like 970, 980 or something like that. But yeah,
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Climbing. And any other takeaways from the round?
Egan is a must-have if he's starting. If you don't already have him.
Well, he's not starting, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know if he will start against up there in Manly.
At Manly.
I think he's
Good player.
Yeah, I think he's a bit like a Hubner. I think he's just a good player that'll find his way into the team. A bit like Plath did last year.
Yep.
He just kind of came out of nowhere and he just impresses the coach.
A lot cheaper than Plath, though, so he's going to make
Yeah,
a
but
lot
I'm talking
more
about-
money.
I'm talking about-
Even last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he's
The
going to
coach
make
loves him.
a lot of money.
The coach loves
He's a
him
worker.
too. Yep.
He's good.
Yeah.
So
And
I think my only takeaway this so what I've talked about with you quite a bit is I think these guys bottoming him out. We've got to, and we're talking about traps and bottoming him out and stuff like that. You really got a time when you're going to get these guys. You know what I mean? Like almost go the week early. Do you know what I mean? I know,
and you sort of
I know it
mentioned that
sounds-
last
yeah.
week. Why would you wait on these guys who are clearly below their value?
Yeah.
And they have high ceilings on their actual scores. Like if your goal is to climb that overall ranking, why are you waiting on the guys that can get you up the ranks, like a Fifita, potentially Reece Walsh?
I've always said that. Like, if you can get them in. Like,
Yeah, now's the time.
Like,
don't worry if it.
Yeah.
Oh, but even people now they'll say, "Oh, I got C.O. Wang and he only got a 32," but it's like next game he could get another 60 or an 80 because that's what he has in his toolkit, and that's Fifita, and that's Walsh, and that's Barnett now with no Fisher Harris.
No Fisher Harris. Yep.
Like he's going to be one that we should be talking about because he could get anything.
Yeah.
And again,
He's done it before.
and you're going to mark it down the road too. I mean, obviously with Origin coming up, but I mean now even Ponga, because Ponga's going to start losing money now too.
And the Trell's getting.
I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, you got to really time these guys because the more they lose money, the more they look really spicy to get, and then you realise you're storing up, So.
And you guys are being kind on me because you haven't mentioned the news of the week yet.
It's all right. It'll come, Paulie.
No, I think
we had our turn a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
You were a lot more vocal a couple of weeks ago. Now you're quite a little bit quiet. So, we're nice guys. We don't.
And we're talking
kick
about
you when you're down.
We're talking about my real life team, not my fantasy team.
Yep.
Because my fantasy team, I also like you got quite a good score last week.
Yeah,
But obviously,
well, you're in control of that one, Paul.
obviously,
You're out of
You're in
the other
control.
one
You
is
got
the one that's making headlines.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it does have, and not to sink the boot in, it does have fantasy implications.
Yeah. Massive.
If you're playing head to head, or he's almost worth a bit of a dabble now, to be honest, Stewie, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like he could get a pretty good score, and also too on the flip side of that, we'll get to the game obviously, but a certain Parramatta halfback being back is
about the time.
going to be very, very big for that team. So.
Does he like playing at Combank?
Yeah, that's quite a spicy
Against
clash.
his old club.
Yeah.
It's quite spicy. Another spicy clash is the Manly Seagulls versus St George Illawarra Dragons. It's the first game up this week. And Saab's back, and he'll want to have a big game against the Dragons. Garrick, his inside partner, he'll want to have a big game, right, as a former Dragon.
I think it's one a big game in general, mate. That Perth game was an absolute dud.
Yeah, it was tough.
If you own Manly players, I think this is a good week for you.
I think so too.
Right.
I think so too. Yeah, I think Garrick's. I mean, he did it right last week. To be fair, Garrick.
Yeah, he could go
Did
even
all
better.
right. He did amazing.
Yeah,
mate.
he could. I mean, all things considered.
50 something in a beaten side.
Yeah,
That's
all things
incredible.
considered.
Olakau'atu,
Yeah.
I don't mind what he might do this week. And then you mentioned at the top of the show about the Dragons, Dylan Egan. We talked him up for 2 weeks. So
Weapon.
He did it. He was as advertised.
Yes.
Hopefully everyone already listened and they already own him.
I think he'll start again too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I'm not so sure. Just a tough Brookie. You might just want to give him the first 20 to
I think
sit on.
they physical. I think the first 20 minutes is where this game we won and lost.
And Luciano, when he came on, to be fair, he was so good. Like, he made such an impact.
Besides the Storm game,
player.
Manly have been blowing teams off the park in the first 20 minutes. They can't afford to have a slow start, Dragons.
How many minutes does Toby Couchman get? That's always a bone of contention.
I thought we'd open with him. I think he's been absolute shining light in a pretty ordinary start to the season. I think he's been amazing.
I reckon he gets 60 minutes.
He's in my top 3 regrets this year.
I missed the boat on him.
Yeah.
It was tough with the round 3 bye. It kind of was really a tricky one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at too many Dragons players at all, if I'm completely honest.
As I said, the early bye meant you didn't want to go too hard on them.
Yeah.
Let's talk Bulldogs v the Rabbitohs. It is the Good Friday clash. It's going to be a ripper again. And obviously the Bulldogs had the bye last week. They bring back Matt Burton. And I know a lot of people in the wider fantasy community are talking 2 Bulldogs players, Matt Burton and Jacob Preston.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to figure out how they get them in and when they get them in because they want them.
Yep. Well, speaks for himself, right?
I'm so excited for this game just as a footy fan. Like, the crowd alone is going to be awesome. Like, if you don't have your tickets, go get them. It's going to be so good. Preston, yeah, I mean, you've had Preston from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Paulie?
I mean...
Zero regrets.
Zero. Yeah, just pure happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pure happiness.
Yeah, so try and get him in.
Something's going to happen this game. Something's going to happen.
Well,
I don't know what it is, but something's going to happen.
What about Jacob Kiddas? Because I reckon he's the Bulldog that more people should be talking about.
Yep.
Dual position, and they've been tough positions
One of my
to
favourites.
get right. Not so much, we've done well in centres, like you were talking about Purdue, but they're tough to know when to play them and when not. But a guy like Kiro's
busy.
he's like Garrick, like you just put him in
Set
there
and forget.
and you set and forget. And that's 2 of your back 5 just done.
And he's got a great matchup this week too.
Yeah. Souths, well,
Depleted-
Latrell's
well,
still at 6,
they're-
Cody's back.
Depleted back line, to be fair.
Campbell Graham's back, but Alex Johnston out. Every time they get someone, they lose someone.
Yeah.
Sullivan suspended. Hubner's still at 13,
That's good news. What about Lewis Dodd, Paulie? Is he in the
14.
squad? Oh, so there you go. So
Yeah,
Walker might.
It could be a bit of late switcher
Yeah.
with Wayne,
Yeah.
I think.
I would say what will happen is the team will run out as advertised, and at some point, Dodd will come on at right half, Walker will move back to left half, Latrell will move to left centre, and Ewan Aiken will replace probably Jai Arrow.
Yeah,
In
that's
the back
what I think. Yeah, but I
So
don't.
it's a big jigsaw
They
puzzle.
could start there too. That's the other thing.
They
too,
could.
They could start.
They could.
Yeah.
And Latrell could start.
Because I think they're going to
centres.
have to combat Dogs as they're going to have a lot of advantage in the back line there. Like there's going to.
Are you playing Hubner this week, or you just sit him in your
Well, that's
emergencies?
So I was going to note that. So in the Perth game, he was quite filthy when he came off with like 15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
So was I.
So you're going to have to really nail. If you can get loops this week, you're going to have to nail them because I'm going.
You've got the Egan Hubner loop, or would you just play Egan?
Yeah,
I think
I'm
playing
playing
Egan. I'm playing Egan.
I'm playing
And then you look at like a Hubner and like a.
See, I had him the other way.
White, for example, or.
I had him the other way around. See, I had Hubner last week in front of E, so I think I'm going to switch that this week.
Yeah, so Hubner could play at 18, being second game up for you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I've sort of gone, as you said, with Preston. I'm quite heavy in my forwards.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to loop Egan and Hubner.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I've got Wong and Nicholson. I
Yeah,
don't
and
really
the
need-
pro- and
and
the-
I suppose Nicholson, we'll get to that. That could be another loop.
And the profile fantasy wise too with South's games so far this year too has been so many points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
buckle up if you got. I think you're going to be really happy you got Preston. I'll be shocked if Preston doesn't score a try this game.
Hope so. Let's talk Dolphins v the Storm. And of course, we've got the Dolphins first of all. Tom Gilbert, if you've still got him, you're
No.
probably trying to get off him.
Yeah, I got off him a couple.
Max Plath, you're trying to get on him.
I think that's
maybe?
what I was going to say. I think you're getting off one Dolphin to get onto another. I think.
Yeah, I don't
Swap
mind-
positions.
Yeah.
They've gone from second row and lock to the opposite, and it's just today's game, fantasy game. Those mids, those hard-working mids, they're just racking up the
Yeah.
fantasy points.
Yep.
Racking them up. So Plath and dual position. Everyone's looking for dual position people because they're starting to put an eye on round 12.
Yep.
So round 12, 13, 15, 16, 18 and 19, none of your bench.
Yeah, it's just
counts.
a 13, right?
So if you've got
Yeah.
two hookers and neither of them are dual position,
Yeah, that's going
you're
to be.
just getting non-scorers.
Yep.
So people want guys like Plath because one round they might put him at hooker and the next round they might put him at mid.
Great buy cover. You know what you're saying?
I'm probably going to wait because he's pretty consistent. I like the idea what Luke said at the start of the show. I'm going hard now at some of those guys that are probably a bit undervalued, especially if they're fighting for an origin spot, like a Mitch Barnett or a Reece
Yeah.
Walsh, or maybe not this week, but soon Kalen Ponga.
Yep.
Because it could become Walsh v Ponga, right?
Yeah.
Oh, of course it is.
Could be a real fate.
100%.
Could be, like, at the moment you'd say, well, Ponga's got the lead because Walsh has been a bit under his usual. But if
Yeah.
Walsh comes and has two big games, pressure's going to come on Ponga
Yeah.
to have some big games, or else he'll miss selection, or certainly miss a starting selection.
Yeah.
And then you want to own Ponga. So for those, we're going to get to questions shortly. That's going to be a really good question for those that either do or
Just to
don't own Ponga.
piggyback off that too, it's worth also having a note to like checking by round 13 how many mids you've got.
Yeah,
'Cause a lot of, I guarantee
Round
a lot
12
of,
this year
sorry,
too.
Sorry, round
because it's a week early.
yeah. So a lot of people, I reckon, would have the same sort of gun mids. They'll probably find they'll go, oh, I'm actually short. So it's something you're going to have to factor in. That's why your Plaths of the world are, you know what I mean? So just it's something to note going forward.
And Hammer was awesome, Andrew.
Yeah, of course.
So
3 tries. Was it 3 tries like against the Panthers?
What
Thank
I've noticed with him though, because people usually stay away from him, but his base is better this year. So when he goes big, he's getting 80s instead of maybe
Yeah.
60s, and his bad games, or he's not even bad,
Not
but
bad
just
game, yeah.
fantasy-wise,
Yep.
lower scores, they're still not as low. So he's someone that we're going to have to consider at some point.
Just working hard in the backfield, doing a lot of hit-ups, making less mistakes. It all helps, doesn't it?
And Herbie Farmworth's going to be in a lot of people's teams, I'd say, in the next month or two.
Yeah.
He's
Fired up
playing
because of
great.
the Ashes, mate. He wants to get.
He's playing great.
Yeah.
As soon as Origin hits,
plug there,
everyone
Andrew.
will want,
Yeah.
everyone will want an Englishman.
That's right.
Melbourne Storm, well, Ryan Pappenhausen kicking goals, and that means that if he's in your fantasy team, he's kicking goals for you. I'm not sure how much longer it will last before Nick Meaney comes back.
Was it broken cheekbone? Was it or fractured cheekbone?
Yeah, it's usually
So at 6, maybe 8. So
It's weird. It's weird with them. Like they've been so good, so dominant. They're almost just spreading the wealth so much now.
Well, that spine's so.
Yeah, so-
solid.
But like,
he was only played half a
everyone that got
game.
Munster, like you'd think he'd be having an absolute Munster tear of a year, but because they're winning with such ease,
taking their foot off the gas.
It's odd. Did he miss a lot of tackles? Like you watched the
It's
game,
weird,
and I didn't
it's
look at the
weird.
fantasy score till after the game was completed, and I thought, geez,
he must have a
Yeah.
massive
must be
score.
on 60, 55, 60. Played awesome, and you're looking, oh, not that great.
Yeah, that's the only. Again, that's not negative, but it's like a thing with him. You're like, geez, if you got Melbourne, like Harry Grant went well last week, but again. That
I don't mind.
Harry Grant score even 2 years ago would be like 80,
90,
90, and you're like, oh, I'm cooking, you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
mind the idea of picking up Grant now. He does feel a bit underpriced,
sure.
but you're relying on attacking stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Well, they're going to get stats.
They're just so far ahead.
He's
of
another
the
one
comp
that's
at the moment.
missing tackles. So it's getting a
That's
lot of minuses.
my only worry with them, fantasy wise. I mean, not obviously
Yeah,
competition
yep.
wise.
Uto backed it up. He's another one that.
He's a good
that we
player,
could've-
Paulie.
But
could've
also
got.
too, but again,
Very good
again,
player.
the problem like we saw last week with people with their questions, like he's probably in a real shout for an origin spot. It could come down to him and Terrell May.
Yeah.
Yeah, which person does Laurie Daly prefer?
And who's the advisor for Laurie? You know.
Just going to gloss over Trent Liero. Anyway, let's carry on.
Well,
No, I mentioned him. I did bring him up.
We brought him up.
What did he get? 57?
Something like that. I don't know. I've
So
Not even looking at him anymore.
Just another masterclass from Mr. Molinaroli.
that's right.
I'm playing chess. You guys playing checkers?
This is
Let's talk about the Warriors and the Broncos now. And of course, it is the 30-year anniversary game. It's going to be huge, just like it was all those years ago. The first time the Warriors ever played a game in the NRL, it was against the Broncos.
Against the Broncos, and shout out to you, bit of a plug for the making
I was waiting for it.
making of the Warriors. Paulie, Paulie's episode on all things Warriors, how they became to be. It's really good. Check it out on the site.
A lot of Luke's vision that he got from the archive helped out too.
It's all you, buddy.
Photos.
It's just cinema, mate. Scorsese over here.
Jackie Bartlett as well.
Scorsese over here, mate.
Well, let's talk about poor old Warriors because they've got a host of injuries. It's we would have hoped that they could have rolled out a few more of their stars.
One brutal one
Such
that's
a big
really
game.
gonna hurt.
Well, as soon as Fisher Harris went off, that game was over.
Yep.
Unfortunately, against the Storm.
Yeah.
And now Jackson Ford is going to have a big shoes to fill.
Well, friend of the show, Christopher Cook lost quite a lot of ranks with Fisher Harris, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, it was unlucky because he'd been a nice little pod for him, which.
Well, a lot of people still held on to him because he just kept.
It was a good
those
pod
50s.
until he wasn't.
Yeah. So now you almost got to try and pivot.
Do you pivot to Aaron Clark, 62?
I don't mind
a
it.
really good game. And we talked about middle.
know.
We talked about guys that are middles but can play hooker because,
Yep.
like Plath, he's got the same.
I don't know, mate.
Plays in round 12.
I'm still
A lot
a
of
little
people
bit
got
uneasy on that.
Mamazelos or Watson, who probably will get picked for Origins. Either one of those won't be able to cover you.
But that's the thing, like Clark. Who else have they got to
Him
play?
and Barnett are going to
Exactly, they're going to have to play big
Especially
minutes.
Kate will
I think Barnett's a massive shout now.
And Jacob Laban, I'll be watching him closely. One good performance, and I'm going to get on him Dylan Egan style.
Yeah,
You're a big fan, aren't you?
Yeah, he's a good player.
I'm telling you, you could see some similarities between what he does and what Egan's
He's a
been
good
doing.
player, man.
Well, I'm keen to see Halasima get his start.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. He's
been playing well.
He's going to be amazing.
I feel for him too because Broncos losing last week. I just feel like this is going to be Broncos all year.
Well, Reece Walsh, if you're going to bring in Reece Walsh, this is the week, right?
Yep.
Against his old club.
Yes, I mean I've had him from day one.
I was happy last week. I was happy with the 40 something.
So was I.
It was good.
So was I. It's
Good with a wing fullback.
yeah.
Who's kicking goals?
The Broncos.
Yeah.
Well, Reynolds is, but then
Reece wants to take it off him. So,
Of course
mate,
he
you're
does.
doing too much. Let
Yeah.
me do it.
Well, I
So
think
I'm just saying that would help.
I'm
They
happy
put
with
on
that.
50.
well, he didn't miss one. He didn't miss one the week
That
before.
comes down to the
Like,
skipper, really. If the
Yeah,
skipper
okay.
says you're going to give it, you can do it. But I think he's the look into my eyes. I think as long as he's still running the show, he'll pick what he's going to kick. So.
And Arthur's was lucky because he's been given an
And
exemption.
a lot of people have him too.
Yeah, so
you
people might have been wanting to
probably
sell
don't
him.
want to trade out.
Another
now.
revenge game because Arthur's used to play for the Warriors.
Well, I've got him in draft, and he was
Shibasaki owners, when is the right time to move off him with the cash you've made?
I'd be looking elsewhere now, but
You give him this game against
Oh, no,
guys
no.
like
Oh, actually,
give him
yeah,
this game.
Capewell and
Yeah,
Leah.
give him this game.
Lautia,
yeah.
Cossey
Sorry,
on the wing.
respectfully.
Yeah.
Corey Pakes, has he hit the wall?
I mean, I have to hold him for a little bit longer.
He's
But
dual
been-
position.
It's weird with their hooker position.
He's been going.
They've got two hookers on the bench.
Yeah.
He's been
Walters
going
and
fine.
Smoothie.
It's red alert a bit.
But he's been going fine though. Like with all things considered, he's been going.
I don't know, Paul. That's a bit
Just
red alert for me.
He's just starting to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably going to trade him out this week. Payne Haas, I'll probably captain. I really feel like this
Not
could be the
Terrell?
last game. Oh, I think I like to. I don't. That was your rule from years ago.
What's up? Don't chase the points.
Yeah, with captain, you just you want to stay.
I think Terrell at the moment, man, if he's playing 70 minutes a game,
Yeah, he's good.
pretty safe.
I
man.
just love. I think
Big
like
clash
Haas is
too.
ready.
Big clash.
Yeah, it's a toss-up for me with Haas, May, and obviously Cleary. I want to give Cleary another shot.
I thought last week they'd win.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, we're gonna. Yeah, they're playing another team that they've played only a couple of weeks ago, and they're back in the saddle again. So.
Good segue.
Get your questions in at the end of our previews. We'll be answering your questions. But, as Andrew said, it's now time to talk Roosters and Broncos and Panthers even. And the Roosters, well, Marky Mark's back. Billy Smith out. So
He's
if you held him,
so unlucky, mate.
if you held Nawaqanitawase, you're fine.
God, he was good last week, Billy Smith.
Mate, he's a gun. Obviously he's been so unlucky with injuries.
Yeah, I think your Shibasaki question's more about this game, to be honest.
Robert Toyer, are you worried?
Well, I just think what's his break evens. You get into a point now where you're going to have to almost make a decision because his break evens, I think's pretty. Yeah, he only got 27 last week.
He was up against Garner and McLean, so
Break even 29. You're hoping he smashes that. I think one good score.
I think
he'll go back on the up.
Yeah, I think
he reminds me of Paulie.
Do we really think Penrith are going to play that bad again?
No,
it's not about.
It's not about that. It's about him just being.
He's a good player. He hasn't even scored a try.
That's the thing.
Imagine if he gets to double.
He's not getting enough ball, mate.
We'll see.
Their halves, it's just not getting enough ball.
He's got to go looking for it.
I know. Yeah, I know, but like last week, he just barely got it. It was the Billy Smith show.
Better here first, Robert. Go look for the ball, mate.
But he might.
Have a
I'm
go.
just saying, I think it's worth discussing the reason he's not getting these scores. It's like Tamale, same problem. He's not getting the ball. So.
Sandon Smith, I would be more worried about him than Toyer personally.
I think I'm worried about both, to be honest.
I got rid of Sandon last week just in case he lost some money, and I think
But he might pick up Hugo because he's very cheap.
Yep.
Yeah. $230.
Yeah, no brainer.
Just switch Smith to Savala.
Yep.
I think that's a really clever trade this week.
Yep.
Especially you got 3 trades, right? So even if you've got other fires to put out, like the James Fisher-Harris situation, I think you still make that Sandon Smith to Hugo Savala.
And with the Panthers, Paulie, who are we thinking? How do you think Cleary's going to go this week?
Yeah, it's a good question. Should we just cap off Watson, Wong and White?
I thought we were done with the Roosters. Sorry, my bad.
No,
there's a lot
many.
Lot of talking points.
Well, there's going to be a lot of NFL White owners are expecting a big bounce back this week because he got contained last week.
Well, are either of you suggesting a sell or
that's
a
why
hold?
it was so shocking. Like they won the game, but they got nothing out. Like they had no Collins. Nafua White got contained. Wong was quiet.
Up against
Yet they
Haas.
somehow still won.
Up against Haas and Carrigan, maybe I don't know. And I know that Penrith are the same kind of beast, but I don't know. I've got the faith. He's almost like a set and forget.
Yeah.
Dual position. I'm not going to worry too much about White for now. I'm going to keep him in my.
Yeah, you have to give another week. You have to give another week. So,
yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
And the Cleary question.
Yep.
Are you worried?
No, because he's going to be my halfback at the end of the.
I don't think it's about him. I just think it's about where's his mongrel coming from? His forwards. They're not winning the battle in the middle, so therefore they're not.
His mongrels
They're
are
moving Garner. They're
playing for the Warriors, mate. Playing for the Warriors.
Moving Garner to the centres to try
Mate,
and.
and also too, very shocking. Like Tago's on the bench.
Well, they might want to play him in the
It's
forwards.
not quite surprising though.
He's been very below his normal.
But that's what I'm saying.
Below his best.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's losing the weapons around him.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's tough. Like he's got there's a lot of. Look at the aggro on his bench there.
Yeah, it's
Like
good.
it's just.
Well, IPAP's been starting. Lindsay Smith's been killing it, by the way.
Ivan's looking for a response. He's looking for a response from someone.
Give me something.
Yeah.
Isaiah Yeo would have been a good captain choice last week.
Well, he's Mr. Reliable. But the problem is he's like, he's just they're steadier. They need someone to finish off these plays.
I feel like if you missed Yeo, it might be a good time to grab him because his price is starting to go back to where it began.
And unfortunately, Dylan Edwards looked really, really short at Gallop last week too.
Yeah. He's been off his feet, I guess.
He's probably come back early to kind of get the team
100%,
going and try to put the team first. But I don't know. It's hard to. I think back to your two's point about the captaincy. I don't know if you can put the sound in this week. I don't know if you can. You might have to put it on. You might put on Haas and May.
I mean, you're probably right.
It's very spooky.
I do like to.
Cleary, so I don't have that problem.
I do like to captain guys during the day in the day game with May on Monday.
In saying that, he still got a 53 in probably their worst game in their dynasty era. That's probably their worst game.
been saying that for the past 5 weeks.
Yeah, that was elite. That was elite special.
The first sort of 30 minutes he was fine, and then his fantasy score just plateaued.
I just need a response from the people outside him. That's all.
Can't get try assists if they're not scoring
That's
tries.
right. Exactly right.
Yeah. Tom Jenkins owner, we will announce. Speaking of things, we're going to announce the DPPs very, very soon. So big news because he's named on the wing.
Hot off the presses, Paul.
Speaking of shocking losses, this one's all time. This one here.
Let's talk Gold Coast Titans v Canberra Raiders, and it is the halves for mine, Brimson and Campbell, along with, of course, that man David Fafita. Named to start. I've got a feeling that the entire fantasy world will be trading him in this week.
If they can, yeah.
Bo Formal back at second row.
Yeah, don't panic if you're a Fermor. I've heard stuff. Should I just go Fermor to Fafita? No, have them both.
Have them both.
I reckon Fermor Paulie G guarantees 60 this.
I said people on Friday night. I said watch people rage trade Fermor and go straight from Fermor to Fafita when the idea is you'll have both.
Yep.
Because you play Fermor on your centres. So.
Yeah.
But
I've had him for a couple of weeks. I got him 2 weeks ago, and obviously it's been disappointing. But I've kept the faith. He's a keeper. Keep him and get Fafita.
And we just got to pray that Jojo Fafita's playing this week too.
They got Fitzgibbon in there 22, who's a winger. So there's options for Des rather than put Fermor in the centre.
Yep.
Valve Holmes, as you said to me the other day, exposed him.
Well, they knew where they were going to go the whole time. So.
Yeah, he's not a centre.
Any good NRL team was going to go there.
Yeah, he's not a centre. He's like,
All right. And what about the Raiders? Because Fogarty, I think we brought him in our official team.
I brought him in my team as well last week.
Yeah, got Fogarty.
He is solid.
Yep.
Solid.
Right, which is what you're looking for.
KO Weeks, a bit of bounce back game. Another guy to keep an eye on because his price is dipping quite a bit.
He could be a really clever pod because the Raiders don't have a bye at around 15.
Yep.
So I'm not necessarily saying this week, but Weeks could be
He's
just
someone
a
here
clever
to look at, I'm
pod
telling you.
to pivot on and then back off closer.
They're such a
around
confidence
15.
team, these guys. Once they get on a roll with that forward pack they've got, because they've got a really nice
Hoskins
forward
back,
pack now.
right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing as a people that own guys like Corey Horsburgh, Matty Nicholson, maybe eyeing off Tarpanay? Like, is this an issue now with Hoskins?
You got to give it one. You got to give it 1 week. One week, and then you'll see what's going
We
on.
need some data. Just going back to the backs, what are we doing with Tamale?
I'm holding.
You holding?
Yeah, you probably got to figure out a way to loop.
Yeah. Look,
Don't play him in
it's
your.
tricky with so many forwards being buys in recent weeks. I'm figuring a lot of fantasy players are very light on in the backs, especially with Purdue on bye.
Yep.
They might have to play everybody.
That's what I mean. So
Tamale might be a
use
play.
Purdue as the try and loop.
If you can loop, you could do that. But yeah, I just feel like Tamale has that game like a Marju where there's 2 ways he can score well in fantasy and only 1 way that he won't, right? So if the game script is tough, grind it out, he's gonna do some hit-ups, he'll make some tackle breaks, he'll score some fantasy points. If it's a bit more of a free-flowing game and the ball goes left, well, he's going to score a try or set up a try, and he might have a try save, which is what happened.
Yep.
The third way, though, is the 50-point bunga where they just go the complete other side of the field all game. So that was the one way that was always going to hurt him. So will that happen again this week? The predictor says that he's going to score 37. So it's not
break even's mid-30s, so
it's not horrible.
he's not going to be losing too much
Nicholson,
cash.
61, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And the horse, are you starting to think about just the minutes getting shared too much? Is he...
I think it's between him and... It really depends who out of him and Nicholson gets affected the most here. Because if Nicholson goes back to not being an 80, because we just don't know. Because I still think at the end of the day, Ricky's going to have Corey out there when it matters.
I'm just worried if Corey gets picked for Origin...
Yeah, 100%.
...and he starts getting less minutes from Ricky, is there a point where you say, I'll get off him now...
Yeah.
...because I can grab these guys that have fallen in cash, but if I wait till just before Origin and I actually see him being named in Origin, those guys that I could have traded Horsburgh to, I now can't afford.
I think so, because the thing with Horsburgh, he's going to keep Well, he's not a lock for Origin, right? So he needs to still prove himself that he's
fighting with 3 other players.
exactly. So he's going to be going crazy.
His PPM was outstanding.
Yeah.
Up in Darwin. The only reason why his score wasn't higher is because Ricky had that huge rest, but it was hot. Obviously,
that's right.
It was very hot.
So the Lindsay Collins big injury has really thrown a spanner in the works because
How long's he out
outside
for?
of 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So what I mean,
Surely
so-
Corey gets named.
Yeah, but that's what
But
I'm saying.
that's
So
getting
but outside of Tino,
Yeah.
he's really because it'd be Lindsay
that's
and
right.
Tino named, right? Then you got Carrigan.
Yeah, but
Do you know what I'm saying?
but you want that real big
Yeah,
guy.
I know, but what I'm
That's
saying
why
is
Corey could be
if
that.
Collins is out of the picture,
Yeah, Corey could be the next.
he kind of jumps the queue.
Yeah.
So
If only there was a guy from Melbourne named Trent Leary. Oh, there is.
Wait,
He's a
mate,
Queensland.
Yeah, well, they'll get those
I
type
take the
of
Mickey
players
out
like
of
Hopgood and
I
Leo.
take the Mickey
right?
out of Andrew. He's probably going to be a real chance this year.
He
So.
is.
But they might be off the bench, the Ruben
Yeah.
Cotter types.
Yeah.
Whereas they do need one more real big
Yeah.
guy. Let's talk Newcastle Knights and Cronulla Sharks. And Kalen Ponga is a bit of the talk of the town right now because he's had a few low scores in a row.
Well, it's coincided. They've really gone. They've really just fallen off a cliff since Lucas got hurt.
Yeah.
And, they really, and that game the other day on the weekend was residual effect of them playing with 15 against the Dogs.
Yeah.
That whole game.
Yeah.
They were down 2 men off
They
the
also
bat.
didn't have a organising half. They
Yeah,
had
I
a
know, but
converted
it took
fullback
so
and
much-
a converted hooker.
It took so much
Like, you
petrol
can't-
out of them.
You can't play a game where neither of your halves have spent really any time in the half.
Mate, Safiti's just a massive part of this team.
Yeah.
He's just.
And you're right. So is Lucas as well. Like
Yeah.
it's.
They're
Well, Leo's back. I mean,
Yeah.
he's putting. He's another one where you go, well, if we didn't have so many mids already.
But
Yeah,
Thomas
Cant's
my
been good.
point is, Safiti being out means Tyson has to play in the middle.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of.
I'm not sure about the makeup of the 7.
Yeah,
Like
so-
when you look at what they could do and what they are doing, but it's not easy because they've got a few key outs. But Thomas Cant, if people brought him
Oh,
in,
they're laughing.
they're laughing.
Laughing.
And Kai Pearce-Paul.
I mean, he's a weapon. He's
You know?
an absolute weapon.
So-
Cant's the one. Cant's just doing a lot. He's doing a lot of work.
Yes, we can't.
Greg Marju owners.
Well, again,
How's he
same
going?
problem. It's the Tamale thing all over again. He's not like because of the lack of halves.
But he made some
playmaking.
bad.
I was going to
That's-
say
that's him though, that's
he does have
experience,
he does have
That's
an
the
error in him.
experience with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, it wasn't a tough watch for me as a West Tigers fan, but probably a tough watch for
It was an
everyone
ordinary
else.
game.
The Sharks, Marween Khilotti, shout out to Timbo Slice. I believe that if you've got him, you're going to be extra happy, which we're about to announce very soon. The dual position players, that is. Nico Hines, can I interest you, or is he too up and down?
Bit up and down.
Trindle's running that side now.
For Noah Blake, he seems to have overcome, was it a groin injury? So he's been named.
It didn't look good.
Didn't look good. He came off iced.
Yeah, it affected,
Didn't score great.
affected his score, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Affected his score. I wouldn't be too worried as an AFB owner.
Well, I am, so I'm worried.
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't be worried
Yeah.
if that score was lower than his usual.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was the reason.
Yeah.
And Cam McInnes just could be someone to watch.
Keeps on
Origin.
keeping.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's talk West Tigers v the Parramatta Eels now, and some big changes in the halves for
Well,
both teams.
understatement.
Starting with West Tigers, because Lockie Galvin
What's happened to
being
him?
named in New South Wales Cup.
Oh.
I don't know if he'll play, but he's been named there. Adam Dewey, who is a half by nature, is now half back. So that they probably, in that sense, like they're in a good spot.
One of our office
But-
colleagues' favourite player, Brent Naden in the centres too.
Well, Luke Lowerly, he and Brent Naden come in the back line because obviously Gerald Skelton's redone the hammy, I believe.
Yeah.
Terrell May, you're thinking he could get big minutes again.
Well, I just
not
I
really
just think
doing-
what,
he
I
will
said,
get big
if
minutes.
it's why would they not keep doing it?
Yeah.
Because what he's doing in the game now, he's kind of doing what I'm just trying to think of a bit of a throwback to an old player. Like he's taking rests in the game, if I can say that respectfully. Like he'll wait and he'll pick his spots as a prop. It's very weird to see, but That's why he's staying on
Oh,
the
it's probably
field.
like blocker and that.
A little
used to
bit,
do.
yeah.
When there wasn't interchange,
I was trying
right?
To, I was trying
Like,
to bring us on more
Yeah,
more
because you
David
literally,
Gillespie, Cliffy did it.
you're literally
Yeah, I'm trying
going
to think
back
of something more
to
recent.
the non-interchange
But
period when you got subbed off.
he floats.
Yeah.
He has this little 15-minute, 20-minute period where you go, is he off? And you're checking your app and you're going, oh no, he's still on. And then all of a sudden he'll just come back into the game.
2 hit-ups instead of
But he makes the tackles in the meantime. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, he still defends.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he's not having a bludge. He's,
Yeah.
But you notice too,
Yeah.
because of the Alex Twall factor, because he's such a strong defender. So when Twall has his break, May will step up.
Yeah.
But then Twall comes back on and he knows, oh, I've got Twally there, defensive, you know. So it kind of helps.
It's a big pack. Like Benji's found something there.
Well, one player makes a big difference
my-
when you get a guy who's that good.
To Mollers' point, I just
Are you
think.
talking about Galvin or?
May.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think it will be very interesting this week to see how they're going to go. Yeah, without.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the Wise team, so
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm just saying, but
he'll have to run it.
it's going to be very interesting.
Let's talk about the Eels. Oh, I should mention Stafford Toll quickly because I'm feeling like he's got to the point now where you just start him every week
Yep.
until he proves that he should go back to
Well, I
that
think-
sort of looping.
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
Him and Purdue are for my starters.
Yeah, I think you just start him until further
Obviously, when he's
notice.
back from the bye.
Now, Parramatta have Mitch Moses back. This is huge for them, and it's also huge connotations fantasy-wise. I'm not saying pick up Mitch Moses. I'm saying if you have other guys in your team,
A certain
Zayongi.
fullback, you're saying?
Yep.
Kitiana Kartoga, right? Hopgood, Riley Smith. People have these players. It's going to make a big difference. Do you believe that Yongi will have an uptick now because of the Moses factor?
Yes, it's just like having, again, sorry to bring it back to Manly, but when Tommy plays, all the Manly players, he's that good.
You're probably worth having a look at this week to see how they go, but I think... Yeah,
I'm not saying bring him in, but if you've still got Iongi, like I think it's going to be okay for him.
Because it was a bad score last
was,
week, right? And
yeah.
people are looking at that 18 and thinking, oh, I held him, I got the 50, and I thought, oh, good call.
It might be not,
18.
yeah, it might not be that dramatic,
I
but
love-
I think they're going to be a better team.
I love your take. I think it's going to be... I think it's going to
So,
yeah.
so Kelma Tuolungi's been named.
Yeah.
He's been playing New South Wales Cup. Suddenly Moses is back. The two of them trained together in the off-season. They were going to do all that stuff in the pre-season, playing right. Kartoga's come in. He's earned his role. He's played really well. A lot of people own him in fantasy. My fear is, it's with Tuolungi back, they'll go, no, and Moses, keep them together on the right because they prepared for that all season. Kartoga, you're going to have to move to the left.
I know. I just feel like Riles is not smart. Like he's smarter than that. Don't you think? Like
Do you think he'll move Kartonga?
I don't think so. Because like
I think he will.
I just think like there's nothing better than game experience. You can train there all you like, but if you actually got experience on the field, like why would he change it? And he's been going well. So
I like it, Paulie. I'm smelling a Tom League clip here. This is good.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that he's going to move to the left.
This could be on the money come kick off, and everyone goes because like there could be a very real scenario come Tuesday. We get a lot of questions from people, and they'll go, "Oh, Kartoga's score went down."
Yeah. So I'm not saying panic. I'm not saying do anything different to what you're doing.
It's worth observing.
Just saying observe it.
worth
Observe it.
observe.
Jack
and report.
Williams back because he plays huge minutes too.
Yep.
And
So
also,
that's big.
not stating the obvious, but when you get your starting calibre, all-star, origin, halfback back in a team, it does kind of make a difference.
I'm going to tip the Eels.
Oh, well, shocker. Shocker. Mr. Panda over here, really ticking against his own team.
I
Didn't see that
usually
coming.
do.
And they'll be fine, Paulie.
Yeah, I'm sure
May
they'll be
captain.
fine.
May will get out another 75, 80.
I'm going to pick the Tigers this week, Pete. I'm
Under siege, mate.
Paulie,
Under siege.
I am a believer.
Under siege.
And the dual position players have literally just come in, so we'll announce them now. Bailey Hayward, he is middle and half. Maween Hiroti, wing fullback and centre, and AJ Brimson, wing fullback and half. That's our
There you go.
three. Not many.
Hot
but
off the presses.
hot off
Paulie.
the press.
The fantasy barnacle himself.
Let's
Everyone
do-
tries to get rid of him.
Let's do some questions now, shall we?
Plenty of sprays too, I reckon. Questions, sprays are all welcome. Mm-hmm. Gauntlets, challenges.
Handle it.
We've got thick skin. We can handle it.
Andrew, can you handle the truth?
Ryan MS Pong to Teddy.
Don't mind. Well, again,
I don't know.
well, okay, I had a discussion with friend of the show, Scotty Baldwin, about Teddy too. The only thing I'd say about Teddy, if you're going to get him, is the issue with me is that he's playing so good.
He could play Origin, you're right.
Could play
yeah.
Origin.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to bring the Origin talk in, but you're going to have to factor it in.
It's coming, mate.
You're going to...
It's coming.
All these people got these players, you might get caught short.
I just feel like both Ponga and Fermor are due a good score.
Yeah, I
wouldn't be trading either.
Yeah.
If you want,
But I like the idea of bringing Teddy or Fafita in. You're probably never going to be able to get both.
Yeah, but Fafita and Teddy are two different things. Because if Fafita, there's data that say he might not play because there's so many other players in. For Teddy, there's only really one avenue. If he goes down again, I think Teddy's going to be in.
Well, Latrell could play fullback.
No.
Well,
He'll play centre, mate.
Yeah, but he could play
Yeah,
fullback.
no, but I'm saying
You've got
right
Bradman
now...
Best as a left centre and Latrell as a left centre. Bradman Best was...
Respectfully, if Latrell's playing still this way, he will overtake Bradman Best at centre.
Yeah, but...
Respectfully.
but
No, I understand
Bradman
what you're
Best
saying. I
had an
understand what
awesome
you're saying.
Origin series. Latrell's a fullback.
Respect.
Yeah,
So why wouldn't you just play Latrell at fullback if Edwards isn't available?
Well, if Edwards and Teddy's not playing fullback, Tommy might be available by then at fullback.
So, man, you're already thinking about two other people too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what my point is, Teddy's probably not going to get selected because there's heaps of other options.
I think if Edwards doesn't get picked, I honestly think Teddy will get picked.
No,
And then
I don't see it.
the ex-captain.
To quote the great man, we agree to disagree.
You think that they're going to bring back Teddy?
Well, they bought back Teddy in the game when they needed him.
Yeah,
Why not?
They won the series.
Yeah, but
I know, but if Edwards if he's on one leg,
we're talking about the game that they lost when Edwards got hurt.
Yeah, but New South Wales won the series with Edwards at fullback.
Yeah.
Not with Teddy at
Yeah, and I understand
They
that. But
lost when Teddy was...
we're talking in hypotheticals. I'm just saying, like, if Edwards
I
is
think
on
it's
one
safe.
leg,
I'm not relation thing.
I think it's safe to bring in Teddy. Notorious Tash, g'day fellas. What's your opinion on my trades this week? Hopgood to Fafita, Arthurs to Walsh, Watson to Plath.
So same problem. I wouldn't be getting it.
I
wouldn't be getting.
Tash.
Huh?
It's not mustache.
Oh, there you go.
that is a lol, Tash. Well done.
It's good. Again, I don't know about. Would you flick Hopgood?
I like getting Walsh.
I wouldn't. I like. Well, Arthurs has now been named, so Natasha might have picked the team, picked these trades, thinking Arthurs would be out because of the head knock.
My only worry with these three is that they could all be very, very side. Well, not Fafita one. If you can get the Fafita some other way.
I understand with this Hopgood keep going to 9. That one I don't hate.
Yeah.
Maybe those first two and then just hold Watson, but maybe she can't afford.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be flicking Watson, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not do that one, but maybe she.
Yeah, I don't mind the
afford it.
first two. If you can afford it, yeah. I
Just
don't mind
doing the first
two.
two. Maybe she needs the Watson cash.
Yeah.
I think Watson will bounce back.
Yeah.
He already got a nice upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? He went from 30 to 44.
He sure did.
More Origin chat. He'll be the 14. Watson.
I think Watson will play, so eventually you will trade out Watson.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll play Origin. But
There's a good one. There's
it's
one from Dom.
the worst. Dom, Thompson, Shibasaki or Sandon Smith more a trader? I think Sandon. What do you two think?
Yeah, Sandon. But yeah.
Because
I don't want us
Shibasaki
to be-
against the Warriors could get a really good score.
Yeah.
If you asked me that a month ago, I would have said Shibasaki.
That's something I don't want to be the echo chamber.
I've been proven wrong.
But you know the other problem with poor old Sandon, oh great, he's kicking goals. Well, he's missing goals.
Yeah.
He's not kicking a lot of goals.
Feed him, Paulie, feed him.
Dom Griffin, afternoon gentlemen. Thoughts on KPP? Can sell one of Sandon, Shiba, Tamale or Toya for him, no buy. I mean, KPP's going awesome.
Yeah.
Just, is he, have you just got everyone else, Griff? Is that why you're going KPP?
Griff's going good too. Max Traeger, he's going good.
He's going good. I'm just wondering, don't neglect your Fafitas of the world for KPP. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely putting KPP in the buy category.
Yeah. Out of those guys, I'd be like Sandon Smith. Like I said, I moved on from him last week. So
Smith or Toya probably for me.
I want to hold Toya. I just like the cut of his jib. Josh Randall, do I give Ponga another go with a Haas back? Yeah, I think so.
Give him another go, Josh.
Yep.
Don't give up on Ponga yet, buddy.
Two qualities.
it's Kalen Ponga.
Yeah. You think about his
Don't give up on
average.
him yet, mate.
Yeah.
It means every game he gets below his average. What's the rule? It means he's got another game above his average to come. Matt Mayhem, is it time to get rid of Nicholson to Campbell? It could be, Matt. Like, it's not stupid.
It's not stupid. It might be like striking while the iron's hot, because Zach Hoskins back. Yeah.
Threatening.
Well,
but
according to your predictor, you've got Nicholson at 61.
I wouldn't do it this week because, as Luke said, we need a week to see what the Ricky's rotation
Because Hosking
will be.
might come on for Smithies after 20 minutes. That's what I'm
Well,
suspect
here's a hot
might
take.
happen.
I reckon Hosking starts and Smithies is benched.
Yeah, which that's what I'm saying, but that doesn't affect the other two. That's what I'm
I
saying.
reckon the classic hour. You know, Ricky loves an hour before kick-off swap.
Yeah.
That's
He
why.
loves it.
That's why.
But then again-
That's why I'm nervous having 4 to 5 Raiders players because this is the drama you have.
Campbell could go.
It's
bananas.
definitely a watch. Campbell is a guy you
could.
just need to have in your 21. You just need to have him because he's dual position. He puts up points in so many different ways. So I love that side of it. I'm just not sure if Nicholson's the one I'd be wanting to get rid of.
I don't hate
But
it.
we'll know in a week.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but yeah.
Daniel Dimitrievski, afternoon boys, decided to hold Hoppy last week. Thoughts on this week with no Guymer on the bench? A solid sell to Tarpanay or Kiraz. Would you do it? Hopgood out?
No, I wouldn't flick Hopgood. No,
What's he been getting? I haven't kept an eye on him.
40s.
Yeah, so,
It's just
Is that what you want?
It's been weird with him though.
yeah, I know.
He's lost so much money. He's going to be a buy soon, and Daniel, you'll be selling him. and everyone else will be
I just don't know.
buying him.
Maybe you left it too late. I don't know. Stuff.
I mean, surely against West Tigers, this is a rivalry game. It's on Easter Monday.
Here he goes. Yeah.
Surely this is
With
a
no
game where
Guymer,
guys
yeah.
like Hopgood
Give him
go.
another week. Give Hoppy another week.
You've hung on this
Yeah.
long,
It's
Daniel.
like me with Reece Walsh.
Dylan Walker could start at lock though, and Hopgood could still play.
He's
hooker.
not. He's
Just
not a
'cause
starting lock. No.
Just because Guymer's not there, I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could happen. Ross Lapthorne greeting from the island.
Hard life.
I need to trade Jesse Others. I got 650. Well, Ross, you must have written this before 4
Oh,
o'clock.
look, mate, he's 4 days behind. He's still on Friday night football, Ross, so it's all
Arthurs
good.
is in. So,
We'll send that through a telegram so he gets it. So it's all
But-
good.
anyway, 650k to spend. Fafita's just above that.
And remember,
Is there anyone you
Roscoe
guys
plays
like?
very left field, so Miles is your territory.
Well, if he wants to
Throw
get
it a left field guy,
if he
mate.
wants to get rid of Jesse Arthurs, then he can get Fafita.
No, he's saying.
When he's got 650.
I think so. I think he's not, I think he's out of reach.
I read it as he's got 650 in the bank, and then
Oh, that's what I read it too.
yeah.
He doesn't have 650. in
Mate,
the
he's
bank.
Ross, he's very rich.
He doesn't have 650 in his fantasy.
It
So,
is Roscoe.
guys that are around that price.
Well,
Well-
Fafita's 668. So
Hosking. Hosking's back. Break even at 34. He's a right price.
I've been steering clear of him.
He could do something. There might be some guys in more the 4 to 600k, and then he could keep some of that bank. Thomas Cant, he probably waited too long.
I don't know if Ross got it. Did Ross get Egan?
I was going to say Egan. Egan's a must-have.
Must-have. What about Stafford Tower? Is it too late to get him? He's nearly 500k now.
He'll be okay.
And then Jack Williams is back this week with a break-even of 27, middle and edge. Tim Blake, thinking about trading in Walsh or Brimson, who do you think I should get?
Walsh.
I'd go the upside of Walsh. As a Brimson owner, though, I'm loving what AJ's doing lately. So
Walsh, I think it's the same as what we were saying about Ponga. Obviously, it's not quite there, but his good games are going to start coming. They have to. He's
playing his old club.
he's too talented not to
And the thing,
lift.
And the thing with Brisbane too, and I've said it all year, the thing they've got to figure out is they've got to figure out how to get the best out of him, because if they don't figure that, they're not going to win the comp. Because that game on Friday was a perfect example. They should have won that, respectfully, they should have won that game pretty easily.
Yeah.
But because they can't figure out that synergy at the moment, and that'll translate to fantasy straight, because as soon as he starts getting line break assists, he's through the goal.
Who's the best option for JFH in one trade? Ask Terry Evans, Nicola Barnett, KPP or Leo Thompson.
Jeez, probably
I'd say Barnett.
between Barnett and KPP. Don't mind the KPP one.
Bit of a pod ride.
Yeah, I'm definitely Barnett.
I
I just feel
think
like
Barnett.
Barnett's going to have...
Well, he's stepping into the
Yeah.
shoes,
Does he
right?
save any money with either of them? What's the price similarity in both of them? Are they pretty similar in price?
Be.
Terry Evans is a big fan of the show. I mean, I'm a big fan of Terry Evans. Great name.
It is.
Yeah, not saving a lot of money.
No.
But I think Barnett's the one because he's got a lot. He's going to have to prove to
He's got a lot to
Daly,
prove.
right?
He's got to take a more leadership role now with Fisher Harris out.
After him getting picked for Australia, you would have said hands down he'll be picked for New South Wales next year, right? Like going back to end of 2024.
Yep.
But now he needs to prove something.
Well, someone called Terrell May's just come out of nowhere.
Out of the-
Not
yeah,
out of nowhere, but he just basically
been
gone.
a few guys. You said Uto as well.
Yep.
And Barnett's probably.
And Spencer,
He might be.
Spencer Lenny's going to. I think he'll
Yeah.
be picked. Yeah,
Well, I think he's going to be picked regardless. I'm talking about there's two spots on the bench. I think they're going to be very.
So
critical.
and Hudson Young's playing out of his skin.
Yep.
So for Barnett, I feel like he needs to prove himself in the next month, which means, hey, big fantasy scores.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Barnett.
Yep.
Sabgun, who would you start between Toya, Pakes, Nawanga Nitawaze or Jenkins? I need to pick two of them, but also have Halasima, and I might start him. Well,
So I'd say Mark and Jenkins. I think if you got frustrated with Jenkins last week, I think he's a victim of someone not passing him the ball. I'm
Jenkins,
going Mark and Jenkins.
Jenkins 28 on the predictor.
Oh dear.
Mark 40. Toya also 40. Corey Pakes 37. And Halasima 46.
I like Halasima just because I like saying the name. So put him in.
46.
Yep.
I think you
Don't
definitely
give up on Jenkins.
Definitely go Halasima.
Yep.
And then whatever these guys say.
I like Mark, but don't give up on Jenkins.
Lee Warburton got 5 Roosters who to trade Watson Wong, Sandon, Smith, Toya or Teddy.
Keep Teddy.
We're not trading Teddy.
Keep
We're
Watson
back
for
where
now.
we're back where we started.
Sandon,
because
nothing
it's
Sandon.
one of our earlier questions, Sandon
It's
or Toya.
it's 3 and 4, Lee. 3 and 4.
So you prefer Toya and we prefer Sandon now.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Jack Abraham, good to see you, Jack. Is Dewey someone to pick up now he's playing in the halves?
It's a great question.
What does the
What's his job
say?
security like, Paulie?
Oh, I think Latu will take it once he's back, but I don't know the time frames.
Yeah,
of the
okay.
Injury.
Well, is it as a head knock, right? So probably be back.
No, it's thumb, wasn't it?
I thought it was a
Yeah.
head
No,
knock.
it's thumb.
Yeah,
what do
I
I
think he
know?
got a head knock, but I think the reason why
Oh,
he's
okay,
out for
okay.
multiple weeks was his.
All right. So yeah, so a couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, Dewey 43, Jack. That's not a bad score.
He's a footballer.
But his break even probably means you want to wait another week and then maybe.
He's a good guy to play head to head anyway.
Yeah, definitely in draft. Jack more of a draft player anyway.
That's what I mean.
Does love
Well, just grab him. He's dual position.
I bet he's going.
If he's on the
I
waivers-
bet he's tipping the Tigers.
Don't delay.
Well, he's
And wear
pretty
up
dark. He's
headache.
pretty dark, old Jack.
Thinking of trading Seyfarth to Fafita and either Nicholson or Horsburgh to Couchman. Is that
I
sideways?
like the first one, not the second one.
Yeah, so the second one is sideways.
Yeah,
That's the
so.
definition of what we'd say. Because they're all 3 of them are really good players, but if you missed on Couchman,
First one's great,
you
man.
missed.
You missed, yeah.
First one's great. First one's great. Second one, mate.
Yeah. Jeremy Worth, should I bring Fafita in if I already old Fermor? Sure can.
Did you play Fermor at centre, Jeremy?
And the Titans players that are their key fantasy guns are doing all the work.
Yep.
And the other people like Francis de Groot, they're getting like nothing in fantasy.
Yep.
So literally Fermor, Fafita,
Yep.
Brimson, Campbell, they're chewing up all those stats.
Yep.
And so you can own all 4 of them.
Yep. Why not have them all?
It's me. What's so good about this Savala guy? Sandon Smith, him worth it?
Well,
That's a
it's-
really good question.
Yeah, it's
really good question.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
What do you reckon, Luke?
Well, no, it's what you said at the start of the show, because you're getting a 230 guy with some upside, and you're getting rid of the guy with you almost capped out. You don't know yet.
Yeah.
You save that money and use that to do another player. Do you know what I mean?
So, like, his kicking game is solid, his defence is solid, and he's a kid, and his running game's solid. He's only going
And
to
he's
get better.
probably and to be brutally honest, he's probably got job security till Sam Walker's back.
Yes.
Well, I'll put it this way.
Given the data they've got for the first couple of months,
I don't think-
respectfully.
In all due respect to where Savala will get to, just purely from fantasy point of view, I don't think he's any better than Sandon. But Sandon's made you 170k. So now you can do it all again with Savala, make another 170.
It's about the money you'll make. It's me. That's
Yeah.
what the thing.
You
It's
want
about
him-
shifting that money to him,
You don't want to start him if
banking
you
it,
can
and
avoid
then
it.
using it.
If you've got two other halves and you just stick him in your emergencies and
Watch the cash roll in. It's like printing money.
It's purely a front office decision. Don't get personal with it.
Favourite thing in the world
Don't
to
get
do.
personal.
Printing
Take the
money.
Watch
emotion
the
out
money
of it.
roll
Watch
in.
the money roll
Take the
in.
emotion out of it.
Hayden Ottey was a bit of Tupalotta. Unlucky he's not playing this week. Would have been good. Hayden Ottey, thoughts on going Ponga to Teddy as I'm off the Knights. White for feeder lads.
Well, I'm no to both, Hayden.
I'm not about.
do it,
Yeah,
Aiden.
can you save
Don't do it.
your trades? I don't know.
Teddy and Feeder are great pickups, as we said earlier in the show.
I do love a rage. I do love a rage trade though.
But Hayden,
I'm here for it.
that's White's first bad game. He's been killing it.
Been killing it.
Yeah.
And against the Panthers, he's going to have to step up.
My rule in fantasy, you don't react after one. You can't react after one game. So many variables in it.
Ponga could have another quiet game this week, but I'd still hold him because he's going to get a 70 or an 80 very soon.
He's just so central to what they do. That's the problem as well. Like if
Once
they get any kind of roll on,
once he gets
they're going to
unlocked.
score
They
massive.
barely scored a try for 3 games.
Once he gets
They got
unlocked,
one against the Titans. They got one at the last second against the West Tigers, and they got 0 against the Bulldogs.
I can't.
It'll be
Once
unlocked
they
soon.
score some tries, Ponga's fantasy score will skyrocket because, as you said, he's central to everything they do, and he's the goal kicker.
Quite good fellas, Hayden. I can't sanction that. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Last question. The great Cat Weasel, Hubner and Kartonga, still worth trading in. Hubner is, I'll say.
And Kautoga, when we get the clip out with the league, I think it'll be very wait and see after this week because it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
39. Look, he's going great. And that means another 40k price rise.
break even of 0.
Break even of 0.
Cartog.
So the question will be, do you trust what the Eels are going to do with him? Are you happy to wait to the last game of the round to watch it?
Yeah.
It's not, even if he gets a 20 on, he's still making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have
And has he missed on Hubner? I feel like Hubner could be a keeper for a long time.
almost. It's just, it's weird, right? Like he's mid 400s or something like that for now.
He
Like,
could get to 600k.
Yeah.
So I still think,
I'm going to hold Hubner the rest of the way.
yeah. So I think he's definitely worth trading in, especially get the third trade this
Yep.
Hubner's
week.
going to be very valuable in Origin period too.
Just on strategy, just before as we wrap up, are you using all 3 trades this week? Are you recommending using all 3? What's your thoughts?
Yes, I'm going to be using all 3.
If your team,
I'm going to do it.
if your team,
I've never done it before. It's
but
so
if your
exciting.
team's getting close to how you want it to look, right?
Yeah.
Why would you wait a week?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I better not use the third one.
Yeah.
Why not just get the
Do it.
team
Do it.
looking good?
Yeah.
We had plenty of questions for sideways ones. Don't do sideways ones. But if you can get 3 guys who are capping out and get 2 really good players and a Savala, just do it this week. Don't wait till next week. Look at what happened with Purdue. 2 scores in the 60s and 70s. You don't want to miss out on those.
I'm gonna quote Christopher here when we talked about this earlier in the weekend. I think if you've used trades every week since the games opened up, I think now's the time to. If you can just go back to 1 or 2 this weekend.
Not yet.
No, but mate, they're going at a rapid rate here, mate.
all right.
Like, what are you down to now? What are we down to? What's the number? If we rate every week, what are you down to,
26.
mate?
You've still got 26. You've still got
26
some
heaps.
available.
Okay,
Heaps.
all right, but yeah,
Heaps.
no, I'd be trying to.
Heaps.
You must still have you must still have a few available.
I mean, you got 20. You got 24.
So you'll be down to 23. I'm sanctioning it. I'm okay with it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just gonna.
Yep.
Yeah.
Round.
I'm gonna remember this in our show in a couple of months, and we go. They've got no trades, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Luke,
You can't take him with you, Luke.
That's right. You can't take them with you.
Andrew, I'm Paulie G. Stay tuned to NRL.com all week. Plenty of fantasy content for you to consume, and we will see you next Tuesday on the Fantasy Live Show. If you're listening on the podcast next time, come join us live on YouTube. See you then.